Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the SmackDown report for the 11th of December, 2020. Sorry, hiccups there. Anyway, continuation of a completely abysmal show as they build towards totally lacking care, otherwise known as the TLC network purview. And it's abysmally bad. The good news is I'm through the first 5 months of 1983 in Mid-South, and a bunch of that's going up tonight. So if you want good content, just hang in there. That'll be up in the next several hours. Anyway, so the contract signing for the Women's Championship, Carmella and Sasha Banks, is here. They do things from the Thunderdome in Tropicana Field because they had to move locations. It's no better than it was. Sasha Banks makes her way out, and Adam Pearce welcomes her, and that Banks is the one that requested the match, and then there's the realization that there's no contract at the table. And then Carmella appears on the big screen. She says that she makes the rules, and Carmella signed the contract in the back and said that her desire to deliver it in the ring, she'd send someone to do it. This is just goofy. Banks signs the contract with her boss stamp. She doesn't want to wait till TLC. Challenges Carmella to a match tonight. Carmella agrees. Pearce makes it official. Banks then attacks Carmella's deliverer and hits a backstabber. She then turns the table over and drops the contract on him. Carmella watches this whole thing from the back with a smile. Kayla Braxton interviews Street Profits behind the entrance. She notes that Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode made fun of them and said they were too funny to make money. Street Profits make fun of Roode, and Ford promises to defeat Ziggler tonight. Street Profits then go to the entrance. After the break, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode make their way to the ring. Ziggler made fun of the Street Profits and promised to defeat Ford tonight. And that's that. And then Dolph Ziggler with Robert Roode defeats Montez Ford with Angelo Dawkins. Ziggler and Ford tried really hard, and they had a okay match until a distraction finish. Ziggler has the advantage early, but it's also a sign that he was trained in a completely different environment. He's able to bump and feed better than most of the modern talent. He's able to sell more convincingly than most of the modern talent, and he was only trained, 15 years ago? So, I mean, the degradation of the sport is definitely there, and anybody who fights it is just blind and they're a loyalist. Anyway, so he hits a neckbreaker for a near fall. Ziggler makes fun of Ford. Ford gives Ziggler a slingshot in the corner and hits a blockbuster. Ziggler goes to the floor. Dawkins jumps in the ring and dances with Ford. Shouldn't that have been a DQ? Blue solo cups begin raining down in the ring. This is just a waste of money. There are people that can't afford to eat. There are people out of work, and we're just dropping cups from the ceiling. I understand it doesn't cost that much. I get it. But at the same time, it shows how out of touch WWE truly is. Anyway, so they go to the break, and Ziggler's back in control. Ziggler is never shown how he regains the control. He hits an elbow drop for near fall, and then slows the pace down with a chin lock. Ford fights back. Ziggler comes back on him, and then uses a bit of offense on the knee to regain control. Ford fights back, hits a flying clothesline. Ziggler attempts a back suplex. Ford lands on his feet. Ford then hits a back suplex, and a standing moonsault, which, I'm sorry, but if he's got a knee injury, should he be able to hit the moonsault? Ziggler takes over and puts a chinlock back on, which is just, anyway. Ford fights back and hits clothesline. Ziggler tries to suplex. Ford lands on his feet again. Ford hits a suplex. And then Ford climbs to the top rope, hits a frog splash, but Rude jumps up. Dawkins comes up at ringside. He distracts Ford. Or Ford gets distracted by all the chaos, rather. Ziggler knocks him off the top rope. Ziggler hits a super kick for the win. So, I think the right guy won in that Ziggler has more credibility, even though they've beaten him into the ground. But at the same time, aren't you supposed to be building the babyface champions to the heel, challengers? And I don't think this match did that well. At the merchandise table, Sami Zayn is upset he doesn't have a t-shirt. Apollo Crews and Kalisto and Tamina are standing in the background of this for no good reason. Big E approaches wearing his t-shirt, and Zayn is upset by the fact that Big E has a shirt and he doesn't. Big E solved this problem, and Crews pulls out a t-shirt for Zayn. It's a stick figure. Zayn's been upset and tries to tear the shirt up, but he couldn't do it. He blamed his injured hand for the reason he can't do it, and he runs away. He's got a brace on his hand, and this is because of the handshake from Big E a couple weeks ago. Non-title Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defeats Big E. Zayn's still upset about the way WWE treats him. So would anybody be in real life? Anyway, Zayn reminds Cole and Corey Graves that it's a non-title match. Cole Cole acknowledges that if Big E could beat him, he might get a future title shot. Ooh, big whoop. Like, wins and losses matter in this company. Anyway, Zayn has a brief advantage, but Big E uses power. He follows up with a splash on the apron. Ouch. And then back from the break, Zayn's in control, and he took over sometime during the break. He hits a knee to the jaw for a near fall. Zayn slows the pace down and with a chin lock, and Big E hits a back elbow. Zayn makes fun of Big E and imitated him dancing. Zayn fights back and hits a crossbody. Big E catches him, tries the big ending, but he gets his eyes raked in the process. Zayn goes for the haluva kick, but Big E hits a Uranagi slam. Zayn screamed that he broke his arm. Big E didn't believe him and didn't carry it away. Big E slapped him in the face and then chases Zayn around ringside. They go under the ring. Zayn emerges on the other side. Big E has his leg, and then Zayn beats up or jumps up on the apron to beat the count. Bayley wishes Carmella good luck in her match tonight. She called Sasha the most overrated and overpaid superstar. Bayley makes fun of Bianca Belair. Belair shows up behind Bayley and gets in her face. Belair listed her accomplishments. Bayley had heard enough and goes away. Kayla Braxton interviews Carmella. She claimed that she made Sasha Banks relevant again. It works the other way, but that's a reality they don't want to face. Carmella bragged about and is confident that she's going to win. She wants to keep this together at ringside. They recap the Roman Reigns angle attacking Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens cuts a promo. Reigns watches this whole thing on the monitor. Uso approached and asked if Reigns was feeling confident. Kevin Owens music hits, and Reigns, they both have looks on their faces that are not friendly. And Uso wanted to get in the ring, take care of Owens. Owens comes back in the ring. He pulls out a table, ladder, and a chair and set them up in the ring. Owens notes that Reigns is the best he's ever been, but he doesn't fear him. He said Reigns is using his family to fight his battles. This is not untrue. Anyway, Owens claimed that TLC is the most important match of his career. He said Reigns today can beat anyone in the WWE. Owens said he's going to need all the help he can get, and he said his family is at home and can't help him, but he has a few friends. And then we see Reigns and Heyman watching on the monitor. Owens introduces his friend Chairs. He said chairs are going to help him break a bone or two and going to make it hard for Reigns to sit at the table. Owens introduces his next friend to the table, and then he introduces his friend Ladder, and then Owens promises to do whatever it takes to climb to the top of the ladder and win the championship. And then suddenly Uso attacks Owens with a chair. He goes after his knee. Did they already do a semi-knee angle in this broadcast? Owens fights back and sends Uso into the ladder. And Owens then hits a pop-up powerbomb through a table. Reigns music hits, and he walks out. Heyman's walks out with Heyman. Owens demands that Reigns makes his way to the ring, and Heyman stops him, noting that doing this on Owens' time is not the best idea. And then Reigns listened to Heyman. They turn around, they go away. Owens jumps up into the ring and chases them away with a chair. And then he limps to the back. Back from the commercial, Caleb Braxton approached Kevin Owens as he looked for Reigns in the back. Suddenly, Reigns jumps Owens from behind, beats him down, and he introduced himself to Owens' family, and then he warned them that he's the guy that's going to take food off their table, and he doesn't care if Kevin Owens is a husband or a father. Then we have a completely throwaway women's match. Riot Squad against Billie Kay and Natalya. They recap the Riot Squad making fun of these people before and talking smack last week, as if anyone watches that show. And Riot Squad has an early advantage. They isolate Kay on their side of the ring. Kay nails Liv Morgan with a boot and takes over. Kay and Natalya cut Morgan off from her corner. Natalya is in control. Kay tags herself into the match, and Morgan knocks Kay into Natalya, and she hit her in the face. Kay barely hit Natalya, but they sell it like it's a big deal. Ruby Riott hits the Riot kick and gets the victory. This was abysmally bad. Chad Gable's training Otis. Gable throws workout balls, and I guess Otis is wearing a blindfold through this. Otis is able to catch a workout ball while wearing the blindfold eventually, and it was an interesting video, I guess. Caleb Braxton interviews Gable and Otis. Gable and Otis give each other backhanded compliments. They promise to defeat Nakamura and Cesaro, and it's fine. Nakamura and Cesaro approach, and they make fun of Otis and Gable, and Mario Lopez sends a message via Twitter. He said he and his daughter are excited about tonight's main event, and They pick Sasha Banks to win. Yes, Sasha Banks and Carmella are your main event of this program. Nakamura and Cesaro defeat Gable and Otis. It's fine. Gable and Otis have the early advantage. Cesaro gets caught and taken down. Gable uses some mat wrestling, and the heels fight back pretty convincingly. Otis gets a hot tag, goes nuts. He hits Splash in the corner and sets up the Caterpillar, and Gable demands to be tagged back in. He's got a plan, supposedly. Gable attempted a missile dropkick. Cesaro caught him with a giant swing. Nakamura then hits a Kinshasa for the win. Gable approaches Otis and notices that he's trying to teach Otis. He didn't want to be tagged in, so Otis dropped the ball, and Gable promises that Otis would eventually get it. They recap this completely stupid King Corbin stuff, defeating Murphy last week. It's shown that Corbin needs help. Carmella defeats Sasha Banks by disqualification. Match was abysmal at best. Carmella does have a new entrance theme, and then Sasha makes her way out. And then Carmella, is basically pretty dominant in the early stages. Carmella has the early advantage and makes fun of Banks, and Banks fights back, nails Carmella with a knee, follows up with a Meteora, and that's on the apron. Carmella recovers and uses the apron herself. Back from the break, Carmella is in control with the chinlock. Banks fought back and nailed some elbows and double knees in the corner for a near fall. Carmella avoids the backstabber and hits a crossbody for a near fall. Carmella locks in the Code of Silence submission. Banks counters it into the bank statement, and Banks gets pulled out of the ring by the second of Carmella. Banks jumps back in the ring and beats Carmella down to the corner. Referee disqualifies her for this. Banks slapped the assistant of Carmella and locked on Banks' statement. Carmella hits Banks with a super kick and beats her up around ringside. And then Carmella uses a wine bottle and breaks it over Banks' back. Carmella celebrates to end the show, and that's the end of this. This is abysmally bad, but people continue to watch it because they've been brainwashed into believing that WWE has the capability of putting together a compelling product consistently. They no longer do, but there's literally about 2 million people that think or have hope that they will at some point. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.